Have you ever found yourself lost in a sea of information, struggling to make sense of your textbooks and lecture notes? Are you seeking strategies to streamline your study sessions and maximize your learning? If so, you are not alone. Today we delve into 5 effective study methods that have helped countless students transform their learning experiences. First on the list is the Pomodoro Technique. Named after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer, this method breaks down study sessions into manageable intervals, typically 25 minutes of focused work, followed by a 5-minute break. Let's illustrate this with a practical example. Suppose you're studying a chapter of a textbook using the Pomodoro Technique. You would set a timer for 25 minutes and focus on reading the chapter. When the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. Repeat this process until the chapter is thoroughly understood. After 4 intervals, take a longer break, perhaps 15 to 30 minutes. This technique encourages concentration, reduces fatigue, and promotes an effective balance between work and rest. Next up is the Feynman Technique. This method, by renowned physicist Richard Feynman, simplifies complex ideas. Let's consider a practical example, such as learning a new mathematical concept. Begin by studying the concept thoroughly, then attempt to explain it in your own words as though teaching it a friend. If you find difficulty in explaining it, go back to your resources, study some more, and repeat the process. Continue this cycle until you can articulate the mathematical concept clearly and simply. The Feynman technique is a powerful tool for reinforcing understanding and retention of information. Our third method is the SQ3R technique, which stands for survey, question, read, recite, and review. Let's illustrate this with a practical example, such as studying for a history test. First, you would begin by surveying or skimming your textbook chapter to a general understanding of the content. Based on your initial survey, you would then formulate questions. As you read the chapter in depth, look for answers to those questions you've generated. Afterward, recite the information, putting it into your own words. And finally, review what you've learned to ensure you have a firm grasp on the material. This method, the SQ3R technique, promotes active engagement with the material, fostering a deeper understanding and better recall. We hope you're finding these study techniques helpful. We're dedicated to providing you with the most effective strategies to enhance your learning experience. If you're enjoying our content and want to see more, please remember to like our video and subscribe to our channel. We also love hearing from you. Is there a particular topic or study technique you want us to cover in our future videos? Leave a comment below with your thoughts. Your feedback is invaluable in helping us create content that benefits you. Now let's continue with more study techniques. The fourth technique is mind mapping. For instance, consider you're brainstorming for a project. You'd start with the central idea of the project, then branch out into subtopics such as research, planning, and execution. Each of these subtopics could further be broken down as needed. Research might include aspects like primary research, secondary research, market analysis, etc. Planning could be divided into stages like initial planning, timeline creation, resource allocation, and so on. Each stage of execution could be a different branch too, including implementation, monitoring progress, and evaluation. This visual representation of information helps you organize thoughts, ideas, and information a way that aligns with how our brains naturally process information. It's a great tool for understanding complex topics, enhancing memory, and, as shown in our example, brainstorming for projects. Finally, we arrive at the spaced repetition technique. This involves reviewing information at escalating intervals over time. Instead of cramming all at once, you space out your study sessions, revisiting the material numerous times over an extended period. This leverages the psychological spacing effect to enhance long-term memory retention. To give you a practical example, let's consider learning a new language using the spaced repetition technique. Instead of trying to memorize all the vocabulary and grammar rules in a single setting, you would spread out your study sessions. You could start with daily reviews, then gradually extend the intervals to every other day, then weekly, and so forth. This technique would allow you to reinforce your memory of the language rules and vocabulary over time, significantly improving your long-term retention and mastery of the new language. To recap, the Pomodoro Technique encourages focus and balance. The Feynman Technique simplifies complex ideas. The SQ3R Technique promotes active engagement. Mind mapping organizes thoughts visually, and spaced repetition improves long-term memory retention. Each of these methods has its strengths, and the best approach often involves a combination of techniques tailored to your unique learning style. Remember, studying isn't about cramming as much information as possible. It's about understanding and retaining that information in a way that works best for you. So, the next time you find yourself struggling with a pile of books and notes, consider employing these study methods. They might just transform your study sessions and make learning a more enjoyable and productive endeavor.